Hello everyone, this is Alex again. This is my YouTube channel, High School Wrestling Rule Video Series, and I'm going to do a video today that's a little bit more serious than the ones I have been making. I know I've been trying to make some funny ones, some more humorous ones, but this one is on the serious side, so please take note. This is on, as you saw by the thumbnail and the link description, this is on assault on officials. Now, the first editorial I ever done for wrestling was for the KWOA, Kentucky Wrestling Official Association, and it was assault on officials. Now, I know we got different states have different laws, and you need to check with your state, and quick Google search should be able to give you your answer. Make sure you're going to a verified site, not just somebody's opinion. Make sure you're going to a verified site and you're getting your information there. But I'm just going to, for the purpose of this, I'm going to use Kentucky because I know it and it's where I live. So the KRS, Kentucky Revised Statute, is 518.090, assault on sports officials. And I'm going to read it to you real quick. A person is guilty of assault of a sports official when he or she intentionally causes physical injury to a sports official, A, who is performing sports official duties at the time of physical injury was perpetrated, or if the physical injury occurs while the sports official is arriving at or departing from the athletic facility at which the athletic event occurred. Now we're going to go down and read section 2. For the purpose of this section, sports official means any individual who serves as a referee, umpire, linesman, or in a similar capacity that may be known by another title and who is duly registered as or is a member of a national, state, regional, or local organization engaged in part, in providing education and training to sports officials. Section 3. A person who is guilty of assault of a sports official for the first offense be guilty of a Class A misdemeanor unless the defendant assembles with 5 or more persons for the purpose of assaulting a sports official, which is a Class D felony. A person who is guilty of assault of a sports official for a second or subsequent offense shall be guilty of a Class D felony. Now, I know this, I'm filming this in March of 2020. The Kentucky legislature is now considering new legislation to expand the penalty from a Class A misdemeanor to a Class D felony, and also include intimidation of a sports official. I don't really know the particulars. I may do another video when it comes out, but I do want to go down here just a little bit and talk about, there was a basketball official in Kentucky was doing an off-season tournament this past summer, so I guess it would be the summer of 2019. I think, come to think of it, it may have been a youth tournament, and I'm sure if it's a parent or somebody, but an adult assaulted this man very seriously. I'm talking in the hospital for a couple of days. The person's name escapes me, and I'm sorry for that. Can't remember off the top of my head, but he was in bad shape. And whenever the legislature was hearing the first, I guess, reading of the new bill for this sports official assault package, he was with the commissioner of the KHSAA along with the representative presenting it. So it's a very serious matter, and I want to go through, give you some commentary, give you some ideas on what to do if it happens, and then we'll go from there. Now, we know our jurisdiction as a wrestling official begins when you arrive on site, whether it's at a gymnasium or at an arena type of an event, whether it's a bigger tournament, whatever the case is. And it ends whenever you sign the last bout sheet or the dual meet bout sheet, whenever it's completed. But now you need to check your own state. I'm sure a quick Google search should be able to help you out with that. Make sure, like I said, you're going to an authorized or validated site for a government business. But Kentucky's is arriving at or departing from. And to me, that means if you're on the road going home, or even at your residence after an event and you have people come to your house try to cause trouble, then, and like I said, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a district attorney, but the way that reads is you should be protected as a sports official after the event has concluded. If you have either A, attempted to be assaulted, or you have been assaulted, and this could go for yourself or if you've seen another official be assaulted, wrestling stops. Everything in the gymnasium, everything in the arena stops if an official has been assaulted, no questions asked. And if you have a problem with that, you need to turn in your coach's card, you need to turn in your referee license, whatever the case is. If an official has been assaulted at a tournament, at a meet, whatever the case is, coming to before the event starts, whatever, turn your stuff in. Be done with it, because this is not for you. There is no reason that an official, whether it's a coach, whether it's a wrestler, whether it's athletic director, whoever, a fan, nobody should be in fear of coming to an event and being assaulted. There's just absolutely no reason for that. There is none. No reason at all that any official, anybody associated with any type of sport should be assaulted before, during, or after. But on that note, if you have either been assaulted or an attempt of an assault has been perpetrated towards you, like I said, wrestling stops. Now, what do we do from there? Good question. I'm glad you asked. You notify, or you get some, whether you do it, whether other officials do it, whether parents do it, somebody, notify 911 immediately. Don't let them try to talk you out of it. Don't let them try to smooth talk you. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Don't talk. So, no, absolutely not. You call the police. So-and-so at the high school. I've just been assaulted. I'm an official. I need the police here now. And I would say most police departments, with the right personnel, if they have, if something major's not going on, I would say they'll probably have somebody there pretty quick to you. Officials, if there's more than one of you, you need to watch each other's back. I mean, I know just about everybody that I referee with. I've known them a long time. Some people I have on social media. I've got to know them, seen them here and there. For the most part, everybody I referee with, I consider my friends. You may not, I'm not saying you may not consider them friends, but you may not know them, may not see them. You may live in a bigger area, maybe only first time you've ever saw them. But if they're wearing the stripes, guess what? They're your friend. They may be the only person in the whole gym that'll help you. Hopefully not, but you just never know the situation. But regardless, if you see another official in a heated exchange or something's going, you got a bunch of people gathering around this one particular referee, wrestling stops on your mat. Hey, blow the whistle, stop the match, send the wrestlers to their corners. You go help your official buddy. You don't let that official be in a crowd of what appears to be hostiles by him or herself. That does not happen. Nowadays, almost everything that we do is on video somewhere, whether somebody's live streaming on social media, the school or the arena has security cameras, whatever the case is. You're going to, more than likely, whatever happens is going to be on video, because everybody wants that up and coming viral video. Watch this referee get assaulted, or referee gets his butt beat by fans, or those are out there. Most people nowadays will want to film something and put it on social media as opposed to helping another person out. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, is somebody would rather watch somebody get beat up and film it and put it on their social media to get hits, as opposed to helping the other person. Rest assured that if you ever referee with me and I think something's going on, whether we get beat up together, you won't be alone, I promise. We'll handle it together, we'll get beat up together, but you will not be by yourself if I'm there with you. Something to think about too is the majority of wrestlers that high school officials see are going to be under the age of 18. Now, we know most states, 18 and over, you're an adult. 18 and under, 17 and younger, you're considered a juvenile. So if you do have to deal with a wrestler that's assaulted you that's under the age of 18, then you'll be dealing with them more likely in a juvenile court setting. Just something to think about. After it's all said and done, I'm sure the police are going to do a report on it as well. Get all the video that you can. The police probably take that into evidence. But for your own sake, write down the school you were at, or arena, date, time, school involved. If you know the person's name, what other referees were with you, any other witnesses that you may have, all that good stuff. The police department taking information that way, because your mind's going to be in 1,000 places, probably have to tell the story 1,000 times. Just make sure you don't get your facts mixed up and you have everything in order. So let's say you have been physically assaulted, whether somebody spit on you, threw a ball of soda, hit you, like actually punched you or shoved you, whatever the case is, attempted to perform a wrestling move on you. Your day needs to be done. I know that people may disagree with that, but here's why I say that. You need to go to the local hospital and get evaluated. Paramedics may come, but go to, for your own good, go to the hospital, local hospital, get evaluated. That way, if something does arise later on, you may have a medical condition, who knows what the case is, you may get from this. You may have a knee injury and your adrenaline's pumping, you don't realize it. Go to the hospital, get evaluated. I'm telling you, take my word on this. Go get evaluated, local hospital, and go from there. Don't referee the rest of the day. Now, if somebody throws a ball of pop at you and you're able to move or something like that, or maybe like a little kid tries to, they get upset and throw a temper tantrum, different story. But if you get assaulted by like a high school wrestler, middle school wrestler, a parent, an adult, a coach, whatever the case is, your day needs to be done. Hey, I'm out. Sorry, I want my money that I'm owed, and you're taking me to the hospital because I'm getting evaluated. Protect your referees better. And I know this should go without saying, but make sure that you call the correct penalty. If you have been assaulted by a wrestler or a coach or anybody on the team personnel, make sure you call it flagrant misconduct. Now, if they're in the back of a police car going to the big house, then their day's done anyway. But you need to be able to say under the penalty of perjury, you're testifying in a court of law, yes, Mr. Judge, yes, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I did call the penalty for flagrant misconduct whenever this occurred. That way, you're covered by what the book says and by what your state association says. Last thing here, and I'll wrap it up. Just make sure that you are, before you do meets, like I said, I'm not an attorney. This is not professional legal advice. This is just my opinion. This is commentary. So take it for what it's worth. But just something to think about as well. If you're doing an off-season meet, if you're doing a tournament or something outside of the school year or outside of the actual season, just make sure that your license was valid from the previous year, or however your state does it. If you can relicense in between, like when school year, like in the summertime, or if your license runs from January 1st to December 31st, however the case is, however your state does it, organization does it, just make sure that it was valid. That way you can get on the witness stand and testify, yes, I paid my dues, Your Honor, yes, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I paid my dues, my officiating license was valid at the time of this. That's because you've refereed something for 30 years doesn't mean that you're going to be covered under, you may be the best in the state or in the nation even, but if you're not validated through some type of organization, whether it's an athletic association, an official association, whatever the case is, just make sure that all your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. You don't want any wiggle room, because we don't want the scumbag that attempted to assault you or did assault you to be able to get away with it and think they can do it to the next person, because it's not going to fly. So there you have it. There's my take on assault on sports officials. And like I said, there may be an addendum to this. I may do another video if another law is passed in Kentucky. Like I said, that's my home state, so that's the one I know the best. Again, a Google search should be able to provide you with the answers you need for your state. Just make sure you're going to a validated government website. You're not just going to, whatever, news.com or whatever, the most vague site possible, and getting your information there. Just make sure you're going to a validated site. Other than that, like, share, and subscribe. Down to my left, your right, is the red subscribe button. Hit that for me. Drop me a big thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Leave me a comment. And until then, we'll see you guys on the mats.